Alright, hey guys, remember it's TCG back in the video. So with this video, I'm going to be bringing a Shark deck profile, and this is post Cosmic Ocean, a selection pack that just came out, and they gave new support to Sharks in the form of this card and a few other cards that I'm going to be going over. So this is my deck profile for it, and let's just get started. So here I run 3 copies of Beautiful Princess because this card is just a really solid starter. When it's normal or special summon, it's able to special summon a level 4 lure fish monster from your deck, so that makes it easy to start comboing and just go straight into your engine. So it's a really strong card. 3 Ash Blossom because it's just a generic negate, and you guys know I like running this card, so of course I'm gonna run 3 of those. 2 Xyz Remora. Xyz Remora is really strong, just because you're just able to attach 2 materials from an Exceed monster and be able to bring back those materials. Just makes it extremely efficient just to get a lot of Exceed monsters out. This card is really strong, but I like just having 2 copies because it does require you to already get 8 Exceed monster out. But it's a really good card that I would include 2 copies of. Silent Angler, because if this card is the last card in your hand, you're just able to get a free level 4 water monster special summon. So it's just a really solid card to have here. 2 Tenyi Spirit Shatana. The great thing about this card is that you're just able to get a water monster on the field, and sometimes that's all you need, because if they deal with your first monster, you're not gonna have any other water monster for you to combo off. So it's just a really solid card just to get a water monster out there in your when you're starting the turn. And then Right Hand Shark. I think Right Hand Shark is a great target because it's a great target for Buzzsaw Shark. Because normally their effects would be negated with Buzzsaw Shark, but with Right Hand Shark, once it's used as Exceed material, it makes that monster indestructible by battle. So it's just a really solid monster to get out here. Then we have Lantern Shark. Just 1 copy. I think this card is solid. It's just being able to, if it's normal or special summon, it lets you special summon a level 3, 4, or 5 water monster from your hand in defense position. So it's solid, but of course it's not as great as Buzzsaw Shark, as Buzzsaw Shark is able to actually special summon a fish monster from your deck. So that's really solid in my opinion, and it's just a better version of Lantern Shark, but they work really well together, since you can use Buzzsaw Shark to bring back the Lantern Shark, or you can use Buzzsaw Shark to use to special summon the Right Hand Shark and then Exceed from there. So 3 copies of the Buzzsaw Shark for me is definitely a must. 2 Silent Sea Nettle. This card is just kind of similar as the Silent Angler, as you're just able to special summon it out, and it's just a free water monster, level 4 water monster you can get out here. And of course, it has the bonus effect that you can banish this card from your grave and target up 3 water monsters in your grave, shuffle them into your deck. So that just lets you recycle cards if you need to as well. But most of the time, you're just going to use it to get a free Exceed monster. And then here we have Abyss Shark. So this is the new card that came out in Cosmic Oceans. Abyss Shark is really strong, and it helps out Sharks quite a bit. This card can be treated, if it's used for a normal Exceed summon of a number monster, it can be treated as a level 3 or level 4. And if all water monsters you control are water, then you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, you can add 1 level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand. So the great thing about this card is just it's able to special summon itself out. It's level 5 that's able to special summon itself out. And it also searches out another card. So it's definitely a must at 3 copies. Just a really strong card to have here. And then another card that came out was Crystal Shark. Crystal Shark is another solid card. As you can see, it's a level 5 fish. And the great thing about that is that it's going to allow you to go into your new Exceed monster. But you can see here, this card can also be treated as level 3 or 4, and it's able to special summon itself from the hand or grave by halving the attack of one of your monsters. So it's just a strong card that is get out here, but you only really need 1 copy of this. I don't think it provides as much value as Abyss Shark, but it's still a strong card. Instant Fusion and Ready Fusion are just mainly here for the rare fish. Since you are able to recycle the rare fish using the Silent Sea Nettle, I thought that just running 2 copies of it would be good. Just means that you're going to be able to get it out and do some Exceed plays. 1 for 1 I think is solid just for Beautiful Princess, because when this card is special summon, it's just able to go off. So yeah, why not just have a lot of cards that just kind of avoid the normal summon, so you have that normal summon just in case things go a bit awry. And then 2 Pot of Desires for consistency. 2 Dark Ruler No More. This is just mainly for board breaking. If you're going second, you're going to want to see this card, since it can be a bit difficult for this deck to deal with it sometimes with just breaking boards. And that's why you have Pot of Desires to increase your likelihood of getting that, and having your Ash Blossoms and Imperms in order to try to slow down your opponent if you are going second. And then here we have White Mirror. White Mirror is really great. This card is basically a Monster Reborn for level 4 lower fish monsters. I think 2 copies of it is good. It also lets you add add 1 monster from your deck to your hand with the same original name as that special summon monster. So that's just great to me. It's able to refill. Not only are you able to bring back a monster that you possibly used from last turn, but you're able to get the one with the same original name, so then you can use its effect again. So if you choose to normal summon it. So it's just a really good card, but I think just having 2 copies of it is good enough. And then we have, we already went over the Ready Fusion, 2 Called by the Grave. I think Called by the Grave because you don't want to see hand traps. You are going to be summoning a lot. And you just don't want to be dealing with people slowing you down or preventing you from special summoning from your deck or whatever you're trying to do. Thankfully, if they do so, you do have a lot of extra plays outside of that. And you are able to establish an Omni Negate relatively quickly in the form of Totally Awesome. So it's not even that detrimental. And then here we have 3 Infinite Permanents. 3 Infinite Permanents because it's another great hand trap. Another way to slow down your opponent. Just another good card to have here. 2 Goes in Match because you're playing mainly water. So you're just going to want to have water monsters out here. And your opponent is going to be a bit conflicted on what to do. If you get to establish this in the first turn, you pretty much win the duel. It's going to be a lot harder for your opponent to break the board. Especially if you have a Totally Awesome and you have the new Exceed out. You're just able to just slow them down. It makes it extremely difficult for them to deal with it. Alright guys, before we go to the extra deck, if you guys are enjoying the video and want to support the channel directly, make sure to check out the Patreon description down below. Or if you want to just buy cards and support the channel, check out TCG Player in the description down below. And if you can't do either of that, make sure to just like, comment, subscribe, and all that, and that really helps too. So here, we're going to start with the extra deck. So we have Rare Fish. This is the target that I talked about. It's just a level 4 that you're able to bring out, and it just makes it easier to go into Exceed plays. And it just, you know, it just gives you a monster to have on the field. It kind of serves the same role as Shatana in that sense. And then here we have F-Zero, Utopic Future, and Utopic Draco Future. The Utopic Future is just a bridge so you could go into Draco Future. This card is just really strong, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And then once returning, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can attach 1 material from this card, negate the activation, and then you gain control of your opponent's monster. It's really easy to get out too if you have 2 monsters with just the same 2 Exceed monsters with the same rank except number monsters. You're going to be mainly exceeding rank 4s, so it's easily to get out, and it's a really strong boss monster. Of course, it is a light monster, so you're just going to have to keep that in mind. As you are there are a few water monsters that kind of restrict you, so just keep that in mind when you're going to be summoning it. Totally Awesome and Bahamut Shark kind of speaks for itself. Totally Awesome is just a powerful Omni Negate that you're easily able to get out with Bahamut Shark, so definitely run it, and you're definitely going to try to get it out as quickly as possible. Then Abyss Dweller because you don't want to deal with a lot of graveyard cards. If your opponent tries to activate any card effects in their grave, you're just able to get this out, and it's low for Water Exceed. It makes sense to just run it in the deck. Number 104, Masquerade, and I guess these won't really make sense until we get to the other Exceed monsters, so I'll show you that later. Number 101, Silent Honor Arc. It's just, I thought it was a classic that kind of fit the deck, and it's a really strong card that's able to protect itself from destruction, and it's also able to take one of your opponent's monsters. Then we have Stealth Cragen. Stealth Cragen is really powerful because it makes all face-up monsters in the field become water, and the great thing about that is that it synergizes extremely well with Goes in Match, as if your opponent has any monsters out, it's just going to lock him into water. And whether he realizes it or not, that's just going to prevent him from really playing anything else. Just a powerful card. And that's usually the Cragen lock that you're going to try to do. And then here we have the Stealth Cragen spawn that you get once they deal with the main Cragen. And then here we have number C. Okay, same thing with that. I'll go over it once we go over the Exceed monster. So here's the new Exceed. This is Nash Knight. It cannot be destroyed by battle while a normal monster is on the field. So you're usually going to want to establish a normal monster, and then it'll be protected from destruction in battle. And then during the main phase quick effect, you can attach 2 materials from this card, attach 1 number Exceed monster from your extra deck to this card as material that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name. And then you can attach 1 other face-up monster in the field to this card as material. So the great thing about that is that you can use the 104 to put this as material, and then take one of your opponent's cards. It's a non-target removal and non-destructive, so it's a really strong way of removing one of your opponent's cards. So yeah, definitely a strong rank 5. And then here we have CXYZ Nash Knight. So this card can be Exceed summoned by using the Nash Knight, so the card we previously mentioned, and it cannot be destroyed by card effects. And the great thing about this too is that you're able to use this card by detaching one material from this card. You can special run from your extra deck one number Exceed monster. So basically you're just gonna get out the C104 by doing that, and because you already attached the 104, it's gonna have the 104 under this. The C104 is gonna have 104 under it because you're gonna use Nash Knight to add Masquerade, and then you use this card to special summon C104. And now we can cover what these cards actually do. So Masquerade, the main thing you're going to do with this card is just use it as the material. You're not usually going to summon it because C104 is a really strong card that you're able to get out. As once per turn during either player's turn, when a monster effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, you can attach one Exceed material from this card, negate the activation, then you can send one random card from your opponent's hand to the grave, and if you do, have your opponent's life points. So you're not going to be able to summon this card a lot, but when you do, you can see it's a really strong card that's worth getting out, as it's able to just negate a monster effect, and it's able to just send one random card from their hand to the grave, and it's also halves their life points. So you can see it's just a strong card that's worth getting out, and that's of course if this card has number 104 Masquerade as an Exceed material. So that's important to keep in mind. And then Zeus, because it's an Exceed deck, of course you're going to be running the Zeus. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck profile. If you guys enjoyed the video and you want to see test hands or just want to learn more about the deck, maybe in duels, let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.